Last episode, Cherokee Ronnie tried to use his Jeep as a submarine, and he had to get pulled by a Wrangler. Shame, shame, shame. Now we're going to look over the motor on this episode and see what's going on. If you haven't checked out last episode, go ahead and check it out. I sucked water out of the intake with a straw. Before we even get into the video, let's talk about what even happened. I need 33s. I'm going to go get some ASAP because really the tires I was running wasn't big enough. That's all I had at the time, and I knew better. And plus, the creek, well, it was pretty much a river. It's a creek crossing, but it's a river, and it rained 4 inches the night before we went on this trail ride, so that was pretty deep. But I made it almost through it before it shut off. All it did was got in the intake, and if I'd had, you know, a 33s and a snorkel kit, I think I'd have been all right. I think I would have been all right anyway if I wouldn't hit it as hard as I did. I hit it pretty hard. My wife was freaking out. The alternator wasn't working, so she was freaking out extra, so she had me kind of on edge, just trying to hurry up and get home, which I can understand why she's freaking out. You know, 60 miles away from home is kind of scary, but, you know, they're not just going to leave me there. You know, it's a Jeep club for a reason. Well, we're just going to look over the motor and see what's going on. I splashed through it pretty hard, I'm not going to lie, and it is mostly my fault. But it is a Jeep, and it happens. It's a Jeep thing. We learn from our mistakes. It's such an amateur move, but hey, I don't care. It was fun. I had a fun day. That was an all-day thing. If you ain't checked that video out, go ahead and check it out because it needs more views than what it has. It's a pretty good video. Units and everything. And I already pulled these push rods out already, and none of these are bent. These are all fine. I want to pull them again because I'm getting ready to pull the head. But I wanted to put it all back and make sure none of it was bent and start it again, see if it made a difference. I put them all back in the same way. It's pretty self-explanatory. You take these off, pick it up, pull the push rods out, and you put them back where they came from. You gotta make sure you get them in there just right or they'll bind up or go down the block, because I dropped one down the block and thank God it stopped. I could get a pair of pliers on it. So basically this is what you're left with. I'm not gonna record like me doing every little thing because I'm trying to get this done, and I'm just going to get to the point what you got to do. You pretty much got to pull the intake, the exhaust manifold, just scoot it over, take all your wiring off the throttle body. It's laying over there. Make sure you number your plug wires when you go to take them off. I don't do the 6 one because you'll know where the 6 one goes. Take your rocker arms off, your push rods, take your head bolts out. There will be short ones here, then they look like studs here. That one has to stay in there because it hits the back piece until you lift up the head. And I took my water jacket off, and you have to take these 2 bolts off where your AC used to be. That should be it, and we should be able to go ahead and pop the heads. I'm gonna go ahead and get these wires off, pop the head, and then go from there. Alright, I got the head off. The head checks out good. I inspected the head, the valves and everything, they are good for sure. Got your exhaust valves in there. That's good. Intake. It's all good. The head's good. Could be cleaned up a little bit. Make sure there isn't any cracks or anything. So the head gasket was going on its way out. So the head checks out good. It's perfect. As you can see, it was mixing. Yeah, I don't know. That wall don't feel right. So let's get underneath. Oil pan is pretty self-explanatory. You can see that or not. Probably not, but it's definitely got some play in it. I don't know if you can see that. You see that? That's bent. The front one's bent a little bit. The back one ain't too bad. The rest of them, the front and the back, is the one that's bent the most. So I'm thinking I'm just going to replace the pistons and everything. That way the bottom end's pretty much like new. So that is the problem. That's what the noise was. I'm glad that it didn't destroy the motor because you can definitely dingle ball the cylinders and, you know, definitely fix it. So it's definitely bent. You can see it. Oh yeah. It's supposed to be straight. It did score the piston a little bit right there where it's hitting. It's alive. I believe it was on the first stroke, first and sixth stroke, because top dead center, number 1 piston and number 6 is up. So I believe it was on that stroke when the water went in, and that's what bent it. the pressure from the water. I didn't film a whole lot because it took me 3 days. 3 days. 1 day to tear it down. I work every day at work. I got off at 4 o'clock. I went out there and just started wrenching on it, just taking everything apart, because I figured the connecting rods were probably bent, or a push rod, or something in that nature. I even went to Facebook, and you guys helped me out a lot, and I do appreciate that. Just wanted to get second opinion. I know my way around the motor a good bit, but it never hurts to ask for help. I put rings in it. I put main bearings. I put a brand new rear main seal. I put rod bearings, new head gasket. All the head gaskets, or all the gaskets from the head down, are brand new. Well, pretty much every gasket's new, actually. Yeah, every gasket on that Jeep's brand new. I just now realized that because a couple months ago I did the oil filter adapter one. But so basically that motor's runs like a top. I know that it has a little squeaking in it. That was the pulley, the top pulley where water got in it, and it's kind of bad. I need to get a new one of those. That runs good. It runs the best it's ever ran. I'm going to baby it for a while because you got new mains and stuff in it, so you don't want to run it hard. I pulled an all-nighter out in my driveway today. Well, last night. I started on it at 3:30 in the afternoon. Went ahead and started redoing everything, put new, because I had everything pretty much disassembled, and I went ahead and put new main bearings, and I had some help. So I went ahead and did all that, and after we got the head torqued down and the oil pan on, it was just little stupid stuff like, the power steering pump, the alternator, stuff like that. And that stuff's time consuming. It don't sound like it, but the way I had this motor pretty much bare, it took forever. What took the longest was torquing everything. You want to make sure you go back, check, make sure everything's fine, make sure you got it torqued right, and make sure you didn't miss any. Anyway, make sure you go ahead and check out my last video. Go check out all my social media links. They will be in the description below. If you ain't subscribed yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button because it's got a lot of Jeep content coming. I'm Cherokee Ronnie. Stay dirty, my friend.